23 Unhealthy foods with surprising health benefits. Tasty foods with health benefits. We're often warned about the dangers of heavily processed foods such as white bread, salty snacks, and chocolate. While eating too much of these foods has been linked with heart disease and obesity, it's okay to include some treats in an overall balanced diet. In fact, our favorite foods can actually have some health benefits. No good or bad foods, only good and bad diets. It's a well-worn mantra but still a true one, says registered dietitian Priya 2. Clean eating, keto and other restrictive diets that demonize food groups can contribute to a skewed relationship with food or even actual eating disorders. Here are 19 commonly blacklisted foods that can be good for you. We used official food composition tables for nutritional values. Dark chocolate. The more cocoa that chocolate contains, the lower it is in sugar and the higher it is in polyphenol antioxidants that have been shown to reduce blood pressure. Very dark chocolate also has a surprising amount of fiber that helps to boost gut health. For example, 50 grams 5 large or 10 small squares of green and black's 85% cocoa chocolate available at Walmart supplies 6 grams fiber, which is equivalent to 1.5 small bowls of bran flakes. Craving milk chocolate? Sure. Milk chocolate has fewer antioxidants and a higher sugar content than the dark type. But it is not all bad. 50 grams milk chocolate has as much bone-building calcium as a 175 milliliters glass of milk while still having more fiber than a small apple. White bread. A healthy wholemeal loaf has 2.8 grams fiber per slice, but that doesn't make white bread with 1 gram of fiber per slice bad for you. In fact, 2 slices of white supply around 17% of the daily requirement of calcium, about the same as in a couple of generous tablespoons of Greek yogurt. That's because white flour is, by law, fortified with a range of vitamins and minerals. Bread and your blood sugar. White bread has the reputation of rapidly increasing blood sugar and insulin, in turn increasing type 2 diabetes risk. Bread made with whole grain flour supposedly does not raise blood sugar as much, but it's not as clear-cut as that. A study found that in some people standard white bread actually caused less of a sugar rush than whole grain sourdough. The way your blood glucose levels react could be down to the types of gut bacteria you have. Red wine, as well as containing polyphenols linked with a healthier, more diverse gut bacteria population. A 175 milliliters glass of red wine, approximately 2 alcohol units, provides 1.6 milligrams iron, which is just over 10% of the daily recommended intake of this anemia protective nutrient. Cheerios. Cheerios are fortified with at least 15% of the recommended daily intake of 9 vitamins and minerals per small bowl. Add 150 milliliters milk, and that goes up to over 40% of the daily recommendation for calcium specifically. A bowl also has close on 10% of your daily fiber, while the added sugar content is not too bad at 5 grams, about a teaspoon per bowl. Baked beans. No need to feel guilty about making baked beans on toast for dinner when you can't be bothered to cook. Half a can of Heinz beans counts as one of your 5 a day, provides 10 grams of protein more than in a large boiled egg and 7.7 grams of fiber, nearly a quarter of the recommended 30 grams per day. Ham. Ham may be a processed meat, but it's a lean source of protein with less than 5% fat. Look for a nitrite-free version, like Finnburg Naked Ham, if you'd rather skip these chemicals linked with colon cancer. It's worth noting that no added nitrite does not always mean nitrite-free, as celery extracts with naturally high levels of nitrite are often added instead. Peanut butter. How can a food that tastes so yummy be so good for you? A 30 grams golf ball size serving of peanut butter provides 1.5 milligrams of vitamin E and nearly a quarter of the daily requirement of niacin, vital for energy release, a healthy nervous system and skin. It also provides 2 grams of fiber, not far off the 2.8 grams in an average slice of wholemeal bread, and a heart-healthy ratio of unsaturated fats to saturated fats. Coffee. Can't function without your caffeine fix first thing in the morning. Well, that's okay, because drinking the brew dials down the risk of contracting endometrial and liver cancers and is associated with less fat around the middle. The amount associated with the biggest health benefits appears to be 3 4 cups a day, though pregnant women should stick to 2 coffees a day. Pasta. The carbs are bad message is so widespread you could be forgiven for not realizing that healthy eating guidelines from around the world universally recommend that starchy carbs, especially whole grains, should be a key part of meals. However, portion size is vital. The serving the size of your bold fist is about right. Pasta has a low glycemic index G. Glycemic index or G is the measure of how quickly a carb releases sugar into the bloodstream, and both white pasta and whole grain pasta score well at a G of below 50. This means that a modest portion won't cause unhealthy spikes in blood glucose or insulin. Choose whole grain pasta for more fiber though. Milk chocolate is lower in calories. Square for square, milk chocolate is also less likely to lead to weight gain than dark chocolate on account of having fewer calories overall. A 50 grams bar of Hershey's milk chocolate has 275 calories. A 50 grams bar of green and black's 85% cocoa chocolate has 304 calories. Fruit cake. There are enough currants and sultanas in a classic homemade fruit cake for a slice to count as one of your 5 a day. And those fruits also provide fatigue-fighting iron, about 10% of your recommended intake per slice. Fried eggs. You'll get about 45 more calories from a fried egg than a poached egg. But eggs are rich in protein, B vitamins, vitamin D and selenium, and frying doesn't deplete any of that goodness. Just be sure to use an unsaturated oil like rapeseed or olive oil to fry with. Red meat. When you've trimmed off all the visible fat, lean and processed red meats like beef and lamb can be really healthy. Red meat provides easily absorbed iron and plenty of zinc, which we need for a healthy reproductive system and brain function, says registered dietitian Priya 2. To minimize colon cancer risk, have no more than 300 to 500 grams of cooked red meat a week. Tomato soup. No need to let the salt and sugar warnings put you off. A bowl of cream of tomato is very rich in lycopene, a red pigment linked to lower stroke risk in men. It's officially low in sugar at less than 5% and has a quarter of the recommended daily salt limit in a 300 grams bowl. Cheese. Cheese is fattening, right? In theory, yes. But in practice, studies show different. Cheese fans seem to be slimmer and don't have higher cholesterol despite eating more saturated fat. One theory is that cheese boosts gut-friendly bacteria that produce a compound called butyrate, which in turn improves metabolism. Chips. Who knew that a 25 grams bag of potato chips 132 calories provides more potassium than an average banana and 40% more vitamin C than a small bunch of red grapes? These days, most chips are also fried in sunflower or rapeseed oil, high in unsaturated fat, so won't raise your blood cholesterol. One multi-pack bag of Walker's Ready salted supplies just 6% of your daily recommended salt limit. In the USA, the same amount of Lay's classic 25 grams of Lay's is about 18 chips has a third more salt and twice as much saturated fat, but the other goodness still applies if you keep the portion controlled. Popcorn. Popcorn is a whole grain and only becomes unhealthy when it has lots of fat, sugar and/or salt added, or you munch your way through a whole bucket load. Choose individual size bags to make portion control easier where you can. A 28 grams serving of Angie's Boom Chicka Pop Sea Salt popcorn has 150 calories but 2 grams fiber. Oven fries. Oven fries made with purely potatoes and sunflower oil are no more processed than homemade roast potatoes or mash. An average 150 grams baked serving supplies 1.37 milligrams of the 3 to 4 milligrams vitamin A we need daily for a healthy immune system. This size portion also supplies 5.3 grams fiber, similar to the amount into slices of wholemeal bread. Lower calorie cheeses. We think you should eat the cheeses you like best, but for the record, those that are naturally a little lower in calories include Camembert 114 kilocalorie 40 grams, Feta 100 kilocalorie 40 grams, and fresh mozzarella 103 kilocalorie 40 grams. That compares with 166 kilocalorie in cheddar, also a 40 grams portion. Thanks for watching.